Welcome to the RYM Student Podcast, helping you fit God's truth into your life. Reflecting on biblical truth is vital for the life of the believer. We hope this podcast will encourage you in your walk with Jesus. The following was recorded at one of Reformed Youth Ministries conferences. The audio might not be clear, but the message is. We hope you enjoy it.
The last thing I want to say is that grace has a physical shape. There is actually a physical example of grace, and his name is Jesus. And Jesus showed us what God was like. He's a visible expression of the invisible God. But he also showed us what it meant to be perfectly human. And he is a picture of what you, daughter of the King, are being shaped into. If you want any hope for yourself, know that you are being shaped to be like Jesus. And let's look at how he interacted with body, okay? I think he did three things that I could see. Y'all might see more. I think he did relationship, rest, and risk. So y'all can write those three R's down. Relationship, rest, and risk. Okay, relationship. I think that this is what it looks like to be show grace for the body. Jesus was all about presence, right? We've already established that. Presence was the most important. Being present was why he came. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. That's why he was here, to bring us back to be with the Father. He offered up presence to anyone who asked for it, okay? When I talk about being present, you might offer up your presence to a certain group of people that you think are worth it. They may or may not accept it. You might be chasing down a group that you want to be with, and they don't want you, okay? You might be chasing down a group that you want to be with, your favorite people, and they didn't want you. But you're offering your presence to one type of person. This might be you. You might offer your presence to one type of person. It's not how Jesus interacted with his body. He offered his presence to anyone that would ask for it. He came for the sick, not for the well. There were a lot of people who did not want Jesus around. And he offered his presence to those who wanted it. He also asked for presence. When he would go and pray, in the garden before he was captured to be murdered, he asked for his friends to come with him. So some of us have no problem offering our presence to lots of different people. And we have a real hard problem saying, hey, I need you to be with me. That's my problem. I have a really hard time saying, I just need you. So relationship, he offered his presence. Rest. Jesus' to-do list there was always someone else to heal, right? Always. He could have 24/7 nonstop, but he was fully man, right? Fully God, fully man. And he acknowledged the limits and needs of the human body, and he rested. Even with all of the stuff that he could have done. He could have changed people's lives, right? And he acknowledged, he did change everyone's life, but he acknowledged the limits and needs of the human body. And so you see him all the time going off to rest. Amen. I love that he shows me that example, how to be grace in a physical way. And then finally, risk. Jesus was not, he understood that the body needed care, but he also knew where it fell in the priority list. And his main concern was not preserving his body. So his main concern wasn't making sure it was preserved. He had a bigger vision of his body for the kingdom. And so he risked his body, didn't he? To the point of torture and death. He understood the body's kind of its place on the priority list. He cared for it well, but then he offered it up in risk. And I don't know what that might look like for you. It might look like offering your presence to people that make you feel funny. It might look like listening to your body, letting your body rest when you want to keep going, but it needs rest. It might look like one day offering your body up for the kingdom in some way that you're called to do. But he didn't try to preserve his body. He just understood his body in the big picture. So I think that those are the things that Jesus shows us about how to be physical during this time. when our souls are alive and our bodies are dying. He kind of lived in that tension of caring for his body, recognizing that both of them were combined, but also he just recognized it all in the big picture.
For more information on RYM student conferences, visit rym.org/conferences.